Hey everybody, welcome back to A Journey to Understand. I'm the host, Damien, and I am again reading out of my Bible. It's called You Are Loved. It's a Bible that I got from, when you go to church and they always offer you a Bible, and I'm going to use my Bible to make me a YouTube channel. So here we are. In our last episode, we read Genesis 1 and we learned how the first week of the world was created, or Earth and everything was created with all the animals. So we're going to start from where we left off. And let's see, we're at chapter 2. If you want to follow along, I know this is probably not the same as what I was reading out of my Bible, but it's close enough, guys. So bear with me. So the creation of the earth no so the creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them was complete. On the seventh day God had finished his work of creation, so he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all his creation, from all his work creation. This is the account of creation of the heavens and the earth. Okay, the man and the woman in Eden. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, neither wild plants nor grains were growing on the earth, for the Lord God had not yet sent rain to water the earth, and there were no people to cultivate the soil. Instead, springs came up from the ground and watered all the land. Then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person. Then the Lord God planted the Garden of Eden in the east, and there he placed the man he had made. The Lord God made all sorts of trees to grow up from the ground, trees that were beautiful and that produced delicious fruit. In the middle of the garden he placed the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed from the land of Eden, watering the garden and then divided into four branches. Let me scroll this up a little bit so you can follow. Okay. The first branch, called the Pishon, flowed around the entire land of Havilah, where gold is found. The gold of that land is exceptionally pure. Aromatic resins and onyx stone are also found there. The second branch, called Gihon, flowed around the entire land of Cush. The third branch, called the Tigris, flowed east of the land of Asher. The fourth branch is called Euphrates. I'm sorry, guys, I'm butchering this all up, I know. The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and watch over it. But the Lord God warned him, "You may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat its fruit, you are surely to die." Then the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I'll make a helper who is just right for him." So the Lord God formed from the ground all the wild animals and all the birds of the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would call them. and the man chose a name for each one. He gave names to all the livestock, all the birds of the sky, and all the wild animals, but still there were no help. Still there was no helper just right for him. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and he brought her to the man. Mm. And so let me scroll that a little bit for you. Mm, okay, so now he says, so the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of his ribs and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and he brought her to the man. At last, the man exclaimed, "This one, this one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She will be called woman because she was taken from man." This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Now the man and his wife were both naked, but they felt no shame. And that's the end of chapter 2. Okay, so what did we learn from chapter 2 of this? Genesis. Well, on the seventh day, I learned that's why it's holy, because God took a break, and after creating everything there, before there was nobody to till the land. It was just water coming from springs that pretty much flooded. It sounded like it flooded the ground, and that's where all of how everything was growing, because it was just natural water, like whenever we have weeds and stuff growing from all the rain and everything. And so then God decided, after he created Adam, that he shouldn't be by himself, so he had the animals come along, and I guess they were supposed to help, but they wasn't help. They were just food, I guess, and I mean doing what animals do. So he decided to put him to sleep and take a rib from him and make him a woman. And I guess that's why they call them women, because they came from one man. I guess I don't know. That's just my interpretation, but that is chapter 2 of the Revelations. If you like that episode and you want to keep it going, well, join me for chapter 3. Thanks for watching. Peace.